Hello everyone, we are from Group 6 and we will talk about cases that happened in Hospital Hanover. Before we start, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Michelle Angeline and today I'm here with my partner.
And my name is Theodosia Adriana Nenggolan.
My name is Astra Anggona Octaviani.
Okay, so today we have some cases. In hospital, one patient has undergone a brain surgery, and the surgery succeeded. His condition is stable, but he experienced some cardiac arrest during the surgery. So the surgery department delivers him to ICU department. Before we start the discussion, how can a cardiac arrest happen when the patient undergone a surgery? The brain and cardiac system are interconnected through the nervous system, and if the patient receives strong anesthetic medicine, it can lower blood pressure and cardiac pulse. It can cause a cardiac arrest. From the situation, I found some hazard and risks. The first hazard is the ventilator or the breathing machine. If it disconnects or breaks, the patient will stop getting enough oxygen, and I think this is dangerous for the patient. And the next hazard is the critical mat, like dopamine drip. If if we give the patient wrong dose or stopping it so suddenly, the patient's blood pressure would crash, and it's dangerous too. The next one is brain surgery area, like if there is some swelling or bleeding in the brain, it might crack the skull if there is a pressure in the skull. The next one is the handover process itself. If the handover process is not smooth, some important might get missed and it can lead to wrong or delayed treatment for the patient. We really need to be careful during this process because there are many hazards and risks involved, and this can be very dangerous for the patient. Next, for our cases, we will give some staff involved and their tasks. The first one is the doctor. The doctor task is to check the ICU monitor trends, review patient's lab result, and update the patient's condition to his family. The next one is the surgery nurse that will explain what happened in surgery and all about the patient, like the condition, the personal information, and else, to the ICU nurse. And as mentioned before, there is an ICU nurse that will take over care for the patient from the surgery department, and then she will set up the monitors and continue the treatment for the patient.
Okay, next slide is tools. So here are the medical tools that we use during the patient's treatment. So first is ventilator. So ventilator used to help the patients breathe if they cannot do it with the on our day own. And next is vital signs monitor. So the vital signs monitor used to show like important data like heart rate and then oxygen level and then blood pressures. And the third is defibrillator. So defibrillator is used to patient's heart and suddenly stop. And next is stethoscope. So stethoscope doctor use to help us to listen the patient's heart and lungs. And next is infusions. Infusion is used to give medicine of fluid and the patients. And the next is oxygen mask and tanks to help to provide extra oxygen to patients. And next is handover sheets are used to during the shift change to pass important patient informations. Next slide is service user. So our service user is the patients who just have had a brain surgery. So during the operations, the patients had a cardiac arrest, but was successfully arrived. Now the patient is transferred from the ICU to close monitoring and recovery. Next slide is handover coordinations. So the ICU nurse needs to know first is patient details like a name, age, gender, diagnosis, and procedure. And then next is summary of surgery. So the nurse explained that the procedure is done, but there were also cardiac arrest during the operations. Third is patient current conditions, including like a conscience level, vitals, neuro, maths, and line. And last is instructions. So monitor the brain and heart activity closely. Watch for the sign of bleeding and follow post cardiac arrest procedure. Next.
Okay, next we will discuss the importance of effective communication in the handover process. When communication is not done properly, the risk of medical error increases significantly. First, communication should be structured. One recommended method is the SBAR format situation, background assessment and recommendation. With this format, information is delivered logically and systematically. Second, the information must be complete, covering all vital data, including the patient current condition, current medication, and result of previous action. And the last is information should be relevant. For example, it is important to highlight that the patient had experienced cardiac arrest during surgery. This is will be major concern for the ICU team in their further monitoring. Next, however, the patient, there are still some mistakes that often occur in the handover process. The first is incomplete information. For example, early signs of post-cardiac arrest complication can be missed if they are not properly explained. Second, the neurological status of patient is not clearly explained. This is make difficult for ICU team to understand the patient initial post-operative condition. The third is not mention the patient medical history may lead to the provision of inappropriate of risky care. And the last is there is no clear direction on their course of action. There could be lapse in care or even negligence. To reduce the risk, we need some precaution that can be taken. First, use the standard handover format, such as SBAR, to keep the communication structure consistent. The second, perform a verbal handover with a written report to important information is missed. And the next is critical patient should also be labeled with the special risk or color to help identify critical patient quickly. Include important clinical data such as blood pressure, heart rate, and time of cardiac arrest. And the next is double check, for example, by asking the receiving nurse to repeat the information. And last but not least is conduct intensive multi-system monitoring, especially of the nervous and cardiovascular system because they are two areas most at risk after cardiac arrest. That's all we have to say. If audience want to ask question, we are welcome.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. Let me introduce myself. My name is Elina. Here I will ask a question. After surgery, what treatment or care does the patient need? Maybe you guys can give your opinion.
Okay, Alina, thank you for the questions. So, in my opinion, after surgery, the patients need monitoring in ICU. The monitoring is like monitoring heart rate and then blood pressure, oxygen, brain activity must be checked regularly. This monitoring is very important because the patient just had brain surgery and also experienced cardiac arrest.
Okay, maybe another treatment that can be done is to give the patient medicine such as like painkillers to manage the pain, and then antibiotic to prevent infection, and maybe some sedative if need to help the patient rest. Does all medicine help the patient feel comfortable and prevent complication. And when the patient cannot eat yet, they will get nutrition through and or feeding a tube. This keep the patient body strong during the healing.
Okay, I want to add one more. In my opinion, another treatment that the patient needs is the neurological observation. The nurse need to check if the patient is responsive, like he able to move his legs or arms and he can speak clearly. This neurological observation will help the ICU team to see if the patient brain is recovering well or not. Yeah. If that answer.
Thank you for the answer.
So if there is no other question, that's all from us and from our presentation and discussion. Thank you, everyone.